Welcome to another video. Today we'll be looking at what do Arsenal need to do to win the league in 2026. Wow, we have come second 3 times in a row. Now let's think about why. Let's divide this season by season and let's see whether we can make sense of it and try to give ourselves a bit of copium like the rival fans try to call it. Arsenal, we have come second 3 times in a row. But let's take it into perspective. 2023, what really happened? 2023, we went into the season, and I think if you are a true Arsenal fan, I don't think we expected us to win the league. I think what Arsenal fans were expecting that season is top four into the Champions League again after like 8 years out, almost a decade. And yeah, we needed to get back into the Champions League, and I think that was what was on all Arsenal fans' minds. Yeah, and I don't think that season was ever felt real for us. I think it felt like a fever dream because most of us have never seen Arsenal challenging for a title, and we took it to Man City and we eventually like bottled the ball. It was very good to see, and I think then the next season 2024, 2023, and I think it was also a bit of immaturity. I think the signings that we brought changed us, like Jesus and Zinchenko was completely new experience, and like how Shaka went to Sunderland this season, exactly like that for us, and it was really nice. And I think we didn't have the squad depth. We're still like a small, very small like group of players. You know, most of people out were on loan or injury. 2023 was very nice. Felt very nice to be an Arsenal fan. But at the end, you see, even when we had the injury to Saliba, we were holding out to come in, and City battered us 4-1. It was a crazy season, but we didn't win. We didn't eventually win. But the next season, it was like we were sort of like thrown into that circle of Arsenal should win in this season. I think it might have gotten to us. We might not have the correct mentality, but we eventually went to the final day. We took it to the final day and we lost the league by 2 points. And that was maybe like one drop point against a 3 drop points against Aston Villa. That draw, and we lost the. And I remember by the back end of that season, even after that loss, we bounced back and we won every single game towards the end. And we couldn't do anything again. We couldn't just do that much again. And that is just football. That is the Premier League. And you're going against the treble winners, Man City. Then I think they were just too much for us, and we didn't have the correct mentality. And again, with the squad depth, it was kind of stupid now. And I think that has been our problem for a while, if I may say so myself. And then you move on in the topic of squad depth to 24-25, and we saw how much that was needed if you wanted to be challenging for this thing, if you didn't want to be bottling these things. Because you talk about 24-25 and Saka got injured, Odegaard gets injured, you know, at the back end of the season, Gabriel gets injured, so we could not even pose a challenge because we had to bring in youngsters like Lewis Kelly, who did well, by the way, Waneri, who did well. You had injury to Havertz, and a DM that came into the club as DM had to play as a striker. You know, that's not good enough. You know, and I think this season there's just a different energy around us now. And I think we have said this 24-25, we said it 20-24, we said it. There's a different, but this time I feel like there's really a different energy about Arsenal. There's just that different energy, and I don't know what to tell you. I think the new signings that we needed, that depth that we needed, those moments players, those magical players like Eze. They used to look at the signings that we made. Zubimendi, everything goes through him, and he can pair up with the midfield maestro, and he can do the maestroing together. Declan Rice and Zubimendi in that double pivot. We've seen how wonderful and delicate that thing is. That engine room is. You know, we bring in Zubimendi to just be that controlling presence. We bring in Noga to be a replacement to him, who is a former Premier League captain. No joke. We bring in Kepa, the most expensive goalkeeper signing in the history of football. We bring in Mosquera, who has proven himself in the biggest of games against Liverpool, against City. He has proven himself. We bring in Gyökeres, one of the world's best striker. And on this striker issue, if I may add to the debate and who Gyökeres that, I think if you didn't see that Arsenal didn't need a striker that would score goals, I don't think you're a true Arsenal fan. or I don't think you really understand what it means to be a football fan. Arsenal have never been a dependent club. Since the Aubameyang Lacazette era ended, Arsenal had never been a dependent club. We have never depended on one player to. It might be good, it might work for other clubs, but I find it hard because you look at those clubs. You look at, for example, now this season, Manchester City with Haaland. I think Haaland have scored almost all of their goals, and then you look, I think that Haaland has scored like 14 goals or 15 goals, and then you look at the rest after that. The second highest scorer for them is Maxime Steve, and those were 2 own goals when they played Burnley, and then the rest have 1-1-1-1-1. That means effectively, if you mark Haaland out of the game, that means they might not get a goal, except you make another mistake, and that I don't like it. And thinking of somebody might get injured, I don't like it. I prefer my team, and it might work for other clubs. Well, I've never seen Arsenal to be that type of team because I think it's effective. Because you see the days where Odegaard is not on point, or you see the days that Havertz is not on point, or you see the days that Martinelli was not on point. Saka will score. Saka will be the playmaker. If Saka is not doing that, you see the days that Havertz will be on fire, Odegaard will be whipping balls in, Rice will be banging in shots from 40 yards. You see the days that Trossard will want to take on his man. And I think we've seen it. What we needed in a striker, why we say we need a striker, is somebody that has the striker instinct. Somebody that is a fox in the ball. Somebody that defenders cannot leave their eye off. Somebody that will give defenders nightmares for days. That will fight with them. I don't care if he's scoring. Somebody that will take defenders out of the game. Somebody that will make defenders be like, if we leave this guy, he's going to score. And if we don't leave him, they are still going to score. So it's a lose-lose. It's a lose-lose in that case. So defenders will be thinking, what do we do? You want that in a team. If he scores, bonus for me. But I want him to be in a legendary. I want that squad to just be very, very, very balanced. I don't want it to be tipping to the attack, or I don't want to be tipping the defense. Because diverting to my point from that is the way we defend. And this is going into what we need to do to win the league. We've made a lot of signings. As I said, where did I stop? Gyökeres. We made a moments player. Eze. We needed that because we didn't really have moments player. Maybe Odegaard 1 or 2, Rice 1 or 2 times. But we need that moments player. For example, the goal that scored against Crystal Palace. I don't think if the only person that I can see that would do it is Saka. And even Saka safe. I don't think that's the type of finish that he likes. But somebody that can do that type of thing. And then the match against Serbia as well. That first time finish. Nobody expected it. Just called it into the top corner. Brilliant. That's what you need in a team. Those type of players. I mean, we talk about the Szoboszlai free kick against us. That's what you need. I talk about Declan Rice's free kicks against Real Madrid. That's what you need. You need those type of, to make a balance in a team, you need those type of players. And you have Madueke, that guy is a beast. I've said it myself. And I was online all the times that we're trying to sign him, and I was looking at why are our fans against this guy? I think we've played against Chelsea, and I always look at this guy, I'm like, this guy likes running. I need this type of guy. He's so direct. Saka beats his man, yes. But Madueke doesn't want to know anything about step overs or anything. If he wants to do step overs to lose you, he will do it. But he prefers to just take the ball past you, run down the line, put in a cross. Let's see who's going to get on it. That's Madueke, and I love him. It was a shame because I was getting into his elements. A shame that I got an injury. He's going to be back for either the North London derby or the game against Chelsea or the game against Bayern. And that's going to be very good because they're already in training again. And we look at that team, and I just say, there's a difference in feeling in Arsenal. There's a difference in how we are approaching things, and it's so clear. I think it's very, very clear to see, to be fair. If I may say so myself, it's very clear to see. And where do we start? What do we need to do? Where do we start? Let's think of where we start. What do we need to do to win the league this season? I think the first thing that we need to do is build on what we have. You can't, as I said this thing in football a lot. I think in football, my saying, because I used to play football as well, I wanted to be a professional footballer, but even when I used to play, I never liked playing what was behind me. I never liked playing what was on my side. Everything that I always wanted to play is what is in front of me and how can I get that execution perfectly. That's all I want to know. I don't want to be fancy and flick a ball back to my goalkeeper when I'm not facing him, because I can only see what is in front of me. And that is how you win football matches. Kevin De Bruyne played football, balls to Haaland and Aguero. They were not at his back. You don't get. He might have done it in a way that you might not have thought. But that's what I mean. In front of him, and how do you execute it perfect? Same thing as Ozil. Only what is in front of me. You're a player in front of me. I'm sure, but I'm not going to take the ball past you. That's what I have to do. I'm not going to play the ball back and lose it. No. In football terms, what am I trying to say? You have to make a foundation. Your foundation can never be your attack as a team. If not, you're tipping the scales early already. You need your defense, and that shows you what we have done this season. We are building on what we have. Don't get me wrong, we've played 16 games roughly this season, including Champions League and Carabao Cup. We have only considered 3 goals before that Sunderland game, where it's considered 2. So we have considered 5 goals this season. And those are in the Premier League. We have not considered in Carabao Cup. We have not considered in the Champions League. And we played Atletico Madrid. You get what I mean? Yeah, and it's not only the back four, it's not only the wall, as we call it. It's not only Gabriel, it's not only Saliba, it's not only Timber, it's not only Calafiori, it's not only Lewis Kelly, it's not only Hincapié, it's not only Mosquera, it's not only Ben White. It is the entire team. And I don't know whether as an Arsenal fan you would have seen it, but the clip going around that Premier League posted, I think it was against Burnley in the 90th or so minutes. We launched a corner in, they took the ball, they started going on the counter, and you see Arsenal fans in the 90th minute they're playing 90 minutes. And they were running. All of them ran back. Saka ran back. Rice ran back. Trossard ran back. Merino ran back. Everybody was at the back. And they got the ball back. In the 90th minute. We don't defend just the back four. We defend as a team. And that's the key to what we have done defensively this season. And that is special because no team can really do it. I don't think I've seen a team that has done that. I think the only team that I've seen do that in the Premier League season is Man City. And that was against us. When they pack the balls. Defend as a unit. That's one thing that we need to do. We trust our backline when it comes down to it. Don't make rash decisions. But when we can put in our all, put it in. Because at the end of the day, everything even attacking, we attack as a team. If you watch the games. And that just shows what we need to do. And we need to keep our players fit as well. We need to keep the defense fit for a start. But even if we don't keep them fit, I think back to the 22-23 season, and I remember Saliba going down and we had to bring in Holding. Holding went to Crystal Palace and only played like 10 minutes for them in the Crystal Palace. So that shows the levels and the quality. And if Saliba is out bringing Mosquera, proved himself. Hincapié, rugged, invincible at Leverkusen, rugged. Came in on his first start against Slavia Prague. And he won the most deals of any Arsenal player in a decade or so. You don't get what I mean? It's crazy. Ben White, who is still a massively good player. I can't forget what Ben White did for us. Saka, Odegaard, Ben White down that right flank. 2023. There's nothing like it. Such a good dynamic. Very decent player when he's on it. Just keep them fit. And our set pieces. Talk about Gabriel coming into the box and rifling one winning with his big head. You need to have that weapon. You need to have weapons. Various teams have weapons, but you need to know your weapon because a lot of teams. That's what separates us. A lot of teams have set pieces. A lot of teams get corners. Every team get corners. It's not only an Arsenal thing, but to be able to do it perfectly and get the goal in at least almost all corners that you take, that is a weapon. That is a weapon. Because you can be against the run of play. All of a sudden you have a goal and the other team mentality is gone. The other team is how are we going down? Except they're a top team. But that's when you just dominate in every aspect. Keep the back when you are in rotation, you just have to keep every team. I think I always see this when we're rotating. I don't mind a lot of players being rotated out, but I need to have at least 3 foundation players in that team. In each positions. The keeper is except from the keeper. I think in defense you need to have at least 1 foundation player, 1 starter in defense, at least one starter in midfield and at least one starter in attack. So let's say you are playing the Carabao Cup game, Kepa in goal, then you can have Ben White, then you can have either Saliba or Gabriel. For example, maybe you have like Saliba, then you have Hincapié, then you have Luis Kelly. Then in midfield you can have Norgard, Merino, and then maybe Ebbs. And then in attack you can have maybe Trossard, then Havertz, and then maybe Max Dowman. But at least have one starter in each position. That's what you need in rotation, because you need to be able, if you play your first team every time, all of the people that you claim have depth, they won't. If you try to get the best out of them, you won't get it because they will not be match fit. You get. So another thing about having depth is being able to rotate. Because if you have depth and you don't play them, it's going to be useless because they won't be able to do anything because they will not be match fit. So that's just the key. And that just be consistent. And going into my second point, and I don't think Arsenal have done, and I think we've done it a while back, maybe 2019, but I think that's the last time we've ever done it that much, which is turning our home ground into a fortress, an absolute fortress. No team goes there and beats you. No team goes there, and I think we've done it well this season. I think we have 100% record. I think the only team that has taken points off us was Man City, and we drew. So we're unbeaten at home this season. In my mind, yes, we're unbeaten at home this season. We need to turn that place in. We need at least. We're going to play 19 games, so now that's what. That's what. 19 home games. And we need 3 points from each home game. So that should be 57 points for every home game. So I need 57 points. Just give me 50 points at home. We can lose 1 or 2. But I need at least 50 home points this season. 50 home points. Nothing short of 50 home points. You need teams to have that fear factor. The fear factor of Anfield. The fear factor of the Etihad. Those are the only two. Maybe St. James's Park as well. The fear factor of those going to those grounds, you need it. Because you can't have teams coming to the minutes and predicting, you might beat them. No. I want you to be in the talk of Arsenal at home, though. I don't want you to be like, Arsenal is good, they'll beat them. I want you to be Arsenal at home, they'll beat them. Get what I mean? And the crowd. I don't go to matches, but one day, that's my dream. That's my ultimate dream. Like, ultimate dream. I think that's my biggest dream ever. Going to an Emirates match, and I always motivate myself with that. I'm going to buy a box when I get older, when I get enough money. That's my motivation. That's a big cringe and so people. It is what it is. The crowd, I watch it on TV and I don't hear what I used to hear in 2024 and 22-23. I need us to break the fans. We need to break out of the PTSD. Trust me, I think for the younger fans, and I'm a young fan, I'm not saying I can't win anything except on the FA Cup. I know it's harder for us, the younger fans, but we need to let go of that PTSD. And this is from a younger fan saying this. Let go of the trauma. It's not worth it. What's the point? What's the point? What is the point of still having that trauma? There's no point. There's no point. Believe, just believe. There's nothing. And I said this in my Sunderland video, my analysis video. Just believe, man. Believe. Let the players feed off it. Let them feed off the belief. Let them feed off the, oh my God, these fans believe in us. These fans are chanting our names. Let's do something for them. Let this sink into their heads. Don't let them feel as if they are playing football in their house or in their backyard. Let them feel like they have a different. You are making a difference. Let them feel, or let them utilize it so that they can win all the home matches and even the away matches. We need to draw less matches because we lost the same amount of matches as Liverpool last season. But what killed us were the draws. That's one thing I hated about last season. I think I take it better when we are losing, but when we draw points, when we should have won. And that's why I criticize the Sunderland game a lot, because we drop points, but I don't think we necessarily drop points from winning position. I think we were losing, we showed enough resilience to come back. And those type of things happen in football. You just consider one goal. We could have gotten, let's be honest, we would have gotten at least 5 goals in the second half. Zubimendi hit the post. That's as close as we came. Calafiori saved by the keeper. Merino blocked by Ballard. So you get what I mean. And going back to Merino as a striker, and I said this in my Sunderland video if you check it, and that goes back to the point I was making as Arsenal fans. I don't think we wanted a striker that will bang in 100 goals in a season. No. We didn't want that. We just wanted a scorer, a goal scorer, but someone that there is a physical presence up front that will make space. And we saw it against Sunderland because Ballard scored and Ballard assisted. So imagine Ballard had Gyökeres in his review. Would he have gone to those positions that he was in? Because sometimes I saw Merino on the right wing on the. You get what I mean? And you see the ineffectiveness of Eze. Because why? Because when Gyökeres is playing, he creates that zone 14 space where Eze can drive or pass. But you see how tight it was in the midfield. Very tight. And we need those type of, even Havertz does it. Gabriel Jesus does it. So I think that's what we need to do. Improving our goal scoring and creation. I think that has gone up a lot because if I look at our stats, we take more shots. We take a lot of more shots. We take very good passes. We don't rush. We are very patient. So I think we've done that a lot, and I think we've at least averaged a lot of like 10 shots on target per match. I think at least if we're on a good day, I think we get at least 20 shots in, and that's very different from last season where I used to see the likes of like 5 shots on targets in the game, and I'm like, what? Just that, and rotation as well. Like I said earlier, rotation is key. Oh my god, rotation is key. Rotation, being able to, and I think Arteta has done it really well this season. But I'll say what I need in rotation. I need 3 starters, and 1 starter in 3 positions, except from goalkeeper. I need 1 starter in the 3 positions: defense, midfield, and attack. That would be okay. And consistency. I think Arsenal are pretty good at consistency over the past 3 seasons. I mean, we've come second 3 times, and that's pretty good consistency. If you're a mid-table club, you will take that all day. But we are not a mid-table club. We're Arsenal. We want to be winning. We should be winning. We should be winning trophies. We should be holding trophies. You get what I mean? We need to be taking deep. And I think big games, I think we really turn up in big games. I think the only bad performance or the only performance that I would have hated in a big game was the Liverpool one. And then I don't even think that was a bad performance. I think it was just a case of 2 good teams cancelling each other out. And the Man City game, I think it was a game of learning and experience. I think he needed that game to really learn a lot of things, and it really took a lot from starting Merino at number 10. He knows that he can't do that. But what is not our problem? Our problems are the bogey teams. The bogey teams that have shut us out so many times. The likes of West Ham, the likes of Crystal Palace, the likes of Newcastle, the likes of Fulham. And we have beaten most of them this season. I think we have the likes of Aston Villa yet to come, and Aston Villa. I think that's the only team that I think are the other ones that really showed us out, to be fair. We need to take serious points from those games. From those type of games, I want us to win. If you can draw, well and good, but just don't lose. Win. You need to win those type of games. Then you can focus on your Chelsea, your Tottenhams, your Man United later. You need to be the Brentford, you need to be the Everton, you need to be the Brightons of this world. You need to beat them. Don't let them be bookie teams to you. If not, you're going to really lose a lot of points. And that's what really affected us. And all in all, I think we've had this season, a culture of calm. Just being calmer. Don't rush things. If you deserve it, it will come to you. If you work for it, it will come to you. And I think we've seen that in a lot of games that we played. The example was the Sunderland game. We didn't really rush. We didn't really make rash decisions. We didn't get the frustration get to us. We didn't let the pressure of conceding get to us. We came back from 1-0. We're leading to 1, and all of a sudden football happens. That happens. All well and good. You can question some decisions in that match, but that was gone. But they need to have that top mentality. And the next key thing and the last point that we need this season, we need to handle the pressure. Like Louis Kelly said, pressure. What pressure? Get what I mean? We need to handle the pressure. That pressure that will come. Because inevitable, you can't, as title challengers, big clubs, it's always going to come to you. And by the tail end of the season, January, February, March, April, the pressure is going to be high. Question is, have this team had enough experience? Have we had enough experience to go at it and say, no, you will not get into our heads. No, we'll play you and we'll win. Can this team do that? And I think that is the key question that we need to see. But as an Arsenal fan, I believe, man, I believe that we're going to do it. And I say this every single day. I think if you can just maintain on the trajectory that you're on, no team has anything on you. No team has anything on you as a squad, as with chemistry. No team has anything on you. And yeah, that's just little notes. We just need to in games. We need to be more clinical. I think those are just a little bit of side points. In games, we need to be very more critical and clinical on teams. We need to finish teams like dust them off, not beat them like five, but we need to like shut them down more. Don't let them break away and things like that. And we need our key players to come back. And I'm very glad. I can't wait for the press conference on a week from now, which is Friday. On the players that are injured, Madueke, Havertz. I don't know whether they will be back for the North London derby or the Chelsea match or the Bayern match. But we need them within that space because that's going to be very tight. 4 games, I think 3 games in like 4 days. I think we're playing on Sunday. We're playing on Sunday we're playing Tottenham. Then Wednesday we're playing Bayern. Then Saturday we're playing Chelsea. So that is like 3 games in effectively like 4 or 5 days, and that's crazy. That's crazy work. But yeah, I believe that we can do this, and come on, you guys.